family, friends, and neighbors. It's time to get off the fence and get out the vote. We can do this. Joe can do it. Let's do it on Tuesday. Thank you.
The man that needs no introduction, as they like to say. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so proud to be here today for a candidate that I can believe in, and I know that if you take a good look and learn about Joe Sestak, that you can believe in and be part of the change that we all believed in when we went out there in droves and voted for the United States President of America, Barack Obama, because we have an appetite for change in this country. We are so tired of people going to Washington, D.C. and carrying the banner of influence, corruption, and deals. We can no longer as a nation stand idly by as a people and wait for our prince to come. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fighter here that's ready to go carry our agenda, the public's agenda, in the Congress of the United States. Where was Arlen Specter when they were cutting the taxes for the 1% top wealth of this country? He was right there with them voting to give that tax cut, and did not respond to the needs of the people of this country, the working people, the blue-collar guy and gal that are out there every day, people looking for health care. We have tried to get health care since Harry Truman getting reform. It finally came. Was Arlen Specter in the United States Senate carrying that banner for us? No, he flew a flag of convenience that let him go along with the Republican agenda his entire career for 30 years at its core. There are those Democrats out there today, what I call the Dealocrats, that will tell you that Arlen did a good job for Pennsylvania. Well, that's the job anyway. Obviously, if you want to get reelected, you better do a good job for Pennsylvania. But what have you done for the Democrats that have fought for health care, that have fought for labor reform? Have you ever gone and talked to a union official and heard the horror stories that came out of the NLRB? Arlen wasn't there for reform for that. He was taking care of himself. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Arlen Specter, a 30-year Republican, is now trying to convince us that he's one of us. He has not been one of us. And what we need is real reform. We talk about people that will support our president's agenda. Joe Sestak has supported that agenda since the day he took his oath of office in the United States Congress. Arlen Specter never did, unless it was a deal. And I'm tired of the Dealocrats. And as a public official, as someone that has had the opportunity to meet Joe Sestak, let me tell you a little story about that. Joe came to Pittsburgh to a parade, and I met with him for 25 minutes, and honest to God, I didn't know him from a cake of soap. And then again, I met him at another political rally some months later and got a chance to speak with him for about 40 minutes. And all of a sudden, I'm going, wait a minute, this guy is talking sense. This guy is talking about the things that I care about, and my family cares about, and my friends care about. And I went home and I went on to Wikipedia, and lo and behold, here's the gentleman that I found, a man who spent 30-some years, literally before the mast, serving this country. Someone that was charged with taking care of the young men and women that we send to the United States Navy, who work on the aircraft carriers and the battleships and protect us. This is the man that took good care of his troops. This is a man that helped reorganize our military so that we would have a rapid response force under the Clinton administration rather than breaking down the old NATO Soviet Union model. These are not things that presidents hand over cavalierly. They give it to people who know what they're doing. Joe Sestak went to Annapolis. And Joe Sestak later pursued a career and has a PhD from Harvard. The United States Senate is a place where foreign policy is formed along with our president. And having a man that understands the global situation is incredibly important in the United States Senate. Having a man like Joe Sestak in the Senate is also incredibly important for Pennsylvania. When we were all at a rally, and many of you may have been there to rally around the Free Choice Act, where labor unions have an opportunity to organize people, well, guess what? Joe Sestak introduced that bill, was one of the original sponsors of the bill. And yet, his opponent in this primary, Arlen Specter, refused to support it. Now, who are we going to be for? Are you going to be for Joe? Let's hear it. Are you going to be working for working people like Joe does, are you? Let's hear it. You're darn right we are. It was a journey for me to get to know Joe. And once I did get to know Joe Sestak, I became a loyal supporter. And I'm voting not for Joe, I'm voting for Pennsylvania. I'm voting for the United States. I'm voting for a progressive agenda, not a regressive agenda. And I hope you'll get your friends to the poll and make a difference in this country in election. Vote for Joe Sestak. Call your friends. Call your neighbors. Let's get rowdy. Let's get a rally. Let's go take our country back. Thank you very much.